let's talk about the border. Like,
What border?
yeah, exactly. People don't know what it looks like, the actual parts of the border. I understand if people don't believe it, and that's why I went to go see it myself. And it was way worse than I could have imagined. These are ranch owners that have huge pieces of land that have gone through generations of their family. They're like, we used to help people come across all the time. They were a family, they were good people. We brought them into the house, we fed them, they used our showers, we liked them. That's not what's coming across. And it's not.
For centuries, America has been a country that has been built on immigrants. When you see immigrants today that come here and defend what America is, it is such an empowering thing to see. Somebody that comes here and understands our freedoms, understands our liberties, understands what America is, because that dream, that ideal, was something they held in their heart until they got here. What I hate seeing is when somebody comes here and they're a 5-time violent offender and they've been deported 16 times and yet they came in again and now they committed a murder. Why were they here in the first place?
I spent 2 years working down on the southwest border, based out of El Paso. I knew that there were problems along the southwest border. When I got down there and started working down there and attending the daily briefings and that they provided, it was an eye-opener. I could not believe what was going on. We know for a fact that, some of the major Latin American gangs like MS-13 and that are coming into this country. They're certainly not coming into this country to become an American, to assimilate into American culture and American society. They're coming into this country because they just look at it as an opportunity, another opportunity for criminal activity. The other concern that I saw for the first time when I was down there was the evidence of who we refer to as people from countries of interest.
Oh yeah, OTMs.
Who are smuggling, OTMs, other than Mexicans. Basically people from Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, Afghanistan, people from countries of interest.
Which
countries
the
that perhaps represent a terrorist threat to the United States. Of all of the ones who have been stopped and detained, how many have gotten through? We know for a fact that people with terrorist ties and that have tried to come into this country already. We suspect that they've already entered this country, either on their own or with the help of some of the Mexican drug cartels and that, as far as they're concerned, hey, if somebody wants to pay me money to help them get into America, I'm going to help them because I don't care what happens over there on the other side of the border. That is a major concern, particularly in this heightened threat of terrorism that this country is under right now because of the Islamic State and Al-Qaeda. We can't just assume that they're all here to pick vegetables or fruit out in California anymore. These people are coming here to do harm to Americans.
It really goes back and forth. But you have the Mexican cartels in bed with anybody who's going to pay the highest. And you have the Mexican cartel who has globalized their market. They're no longer, they used to be referred to as a DTO, a drug trafficking organization. They're now called a trans criminal organization because they go across the globe. They're into oil, they're into gold, they're into the drugs, they're into counterfeiting, they're into organ harvesting, human trafficking. What people don't realize a lot is the Hezbollah connection. Hezbollah being a state sponsor terrorist organization, but they are deep-rooted in Central South America and starting to be in Mexico itself. So that is definitely a problem because they push propaganda saying that they know the soft belly of the U.S. is our southwest border. So,
have you ever heard of the Marine barracks suicide bombing in Beirut? That was Hezbollah.
Right.
The American embassy in Beirut was Hezbollah. Hezbollah is the proxy that Iran uses to commit terrorist attacks around the world against American and Israeli interests or Western interests. And they're not a leopard that's changed its spots. They are still they are still committing terrorist acts against the United States, America, and our interests.
And I feel very exposed. With our borders open, the borders are open. We've heard Matt talk about that. The issue is they're not coming across our borders without guns. Yet many in our own government are trying to strip us from having the ability to protect ourselves. That's a problem for me. That is a security. I mean, that makes me question intentions. So until you can prove to me that our borders are closed you know, and that no one's coming across with the intent to do harm or weapons. Don't talk to us about gun control. Do not talk to us.